Might just need to just swim it. Well, there was one come up and got it. I just swim it. I quit working it and just started swimming it back like you're doing the spinnerbait.
Slow and easy, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Any bass fisherman will tell you that the worst day in the world to fish, without a doubt, the worst day in the world to fish is after a cold front. Not when a cold front gets here, that's not bad, but after a cold front. And I'm gonna tell you what, when you have a cold front that's real bad, what do? You're still gonna go fishing. But if you're gonna have to go fishing after a cold front, you wanna go with somebody that can really help you catch fish. So you find somebody that's won 9 BASS Angler of the Year. Now, the only people that's won 9 BASS Angler of the Year are, no, not Kevin, no, not Jacob, no, not Pank, no, not Billy Boy, Roland Martin. I'm fishing today with Roland Martin. Roland, what do you think about that one, big boy?
Yeah, I tell you what,
is that
Jimmy,
pretty? That's a good start right there.
You light him up, son.
Now, you got a spinnerbait on, but you were telling me.
I got the Red Man. I got the Red Man. I'm completely in love with Jimmy Houston's Red Man spinnerbait.
Hey, I'm going to throw my bass back.
It's a 50-year-old
You want me to turn it loose back there?
And it just works so well. And what I like about it, here's the deal. It casts like a bullet. And watch, I'm going to just show you something. Look, I'm going to reel it as fast as I can. Look how straight it stays. It's straight up and down, straight up and down, straight up and down.
It's got a living rubber skirt on it, so it's got a lot more action.
It's just a perfect complement. I can make a long cast with it, two-handed. I'm throwing 100 feet. I can zoom it along the top. I mean, it's really, really, really a good casting lure.
I mean, he come up. I paused on him because that little hook.
Oh, I got another one. I got another one, son.
Roland, I remember you telling me on the way to the lake today that it wasn't going to be a very good day for a spinnerbait.
Oh my God!
I remember you telling me that.
Bigger bass than I caught before. Another 4-pounder.
It's not a very good day for a spinnerbait.
It's a big old
Isn't that what you said?
It's a big old bass.
Huh?
Huh? I don't know what it is, but it's a big
Jimmy,
old
it's
bass.
not going to be a very good day for a spinnerbait.
Oh man, it's a good day for spinnerbaits. Well, I'll tell you, normally speaking, these 3-pound bass and 4-pound bass, it's not a good day when it's bright and sunny and windy. Like, well, windy is kind of good, but bright and sunny. But yet, they're biting.
Jimmy, this is not going to be a very good day for a spinnerbait. I don't think we'll catch them today on the spinnerbait. I don't think we'll catch them today on the swim bait's what I'm thinking. Since we haven't caught one yet. But I'm going to throw it a little while. There's one.
You want one?
Yep.
Crappie?
I hope. I don't know.
Big one?
Acts like a big crappie. It acts like a big crappie. Yeah, that's what it acts like. No, it's a largemouth. I thought maybe it was a bass because I didn't feel him bite. But Roland, I got 20-pound braid on here.
Yeah.
So I can catch big old bass.
Look at that. That's a bass.
I got a little crappie magic jig, a little lucky strike jig, and a little sickle tail trailer on there. A nice bass. I'm trying to find a crappie or two. Roland and I are catching bass on a lucky swim and a red man, but trying to find that. Look how fat that fish is. Trying to find a few crappie. We'll see what happens on the crappie. Roland, you said that wind was dying down. Now it's picking back up again. It's got a bite to it. It's supposed to actually get in the 50s today. Spinnerbait back on, didn't you?
I put the spinnerbait on.
You got
Flew
off?
out to that tree. No, he's on. He's on. Made a long cast to the tree. Kind of let it sink a little bit. Another good 3-pounder or so. Yeah.
We could circle those trees here.
2.5 pounds.
We want.
Maybe not quite 3.
Is he shrinking?
felt good.
You have boat shrinkage on him?
It felt good. I just made a long cast to that tree out there. Just a small one. And then what I did, I just threw out there all the way out there. Let it sink a little bit.
Someone come get it. Has he got it? Oh, he's got it. Yeah, he was swimming right at me. I couldn't feel him. I bet he swallowed it. He was swimming right at me. I saw him get it, but I never could feel him.
Huh?
He got it and swim right at me. Yeah, it's on that little sinking worm. Lucky strike, luckiest fishing tackle in the world. Oh, they're just beautiful. That's a male. That's a male. That's a male right there, Roland. So the female's got to be there. This is the longest you've ever fished with me without going to a sinking worm. That's a nice one too, isn't it? Is that a 5-pounder, Roland?
Got me a wormfish.
Is that a 5-pounder? Let me get my trolling motor going.
5.
Do I need to not turn the trolling motor on, Roland? Don't turn the mercury motor on.
I don't know if it's 5 pounds.
turn the mercury motor on, Jimmy.
The last big one, Jimmy, I was yelling, don't turn the trolling motor on, but he didn't hear me.
And I cut his line, and he lost a 5-pounder.
3.5 pounder.
That's a nice fish.
That's a good
Beautiful
fish.
fish.
Nice one. Yes, sir, son. Woo. On a sinking worm. Now, I rigged it up like Jimmy told me originally with no weight, and I was a little hard-headed yesterday and today.
Because you had a weight on there. I told you not to put a weight on it yesterday.
I had a weight on there, and it didn't work. But over this grass, and the reason why you don't want weight, there's this slimy grass. If you notice right here, there's all this slimy grass. It'll get all over everything. If you have a weight on it, it'll just cover it up and just slime, and you won't get a bite. So, now a little tip that I gave Jimmy just a little bit ago was when you tear up the worm on one side, that's the normal side that you hook it.
Did you tear it up on that side with that one
tore
fish?
it up, so I'm going to come around to the back side, the tail side, and cut just a little bit off, and then rig it tail first. Same way, same exact setup, it's just backwards. The worm is backwards. It throws perfectly good. It works perfectly good. I catch as many with it backwards as I do forwards, and you get twice the life of a worm.
There's one. You got him. Huh. Oh, I got one on that worm finally.
Yeah.
The other one, it's a small one.
Nice
The other one on those worms. The other one on those worms were up there real shallow. This is out in the deeper stuff. My worm's gone. Look at there, my worm's gone. Ah, I caught 4 or 5 fish on that worm and finally lost my worm. I said he was small. He grew. He didn't have broke shrinkies. He grew. Look how healthy that fish is. That is a beauty. That big girl's going to grow up and be really, really big. I think I see a crawfish whisker sticking out of her mouth. These lucky sinks of Lucky Strike. You had those worms rolling. There they are. Here they are. You got a fish?
No.
I heard you.
I
What
guess
was that splashing?
slime on the line.
What was that splashing?
So you were just swimming that thing with no weight, right?
I told you
No
you
weight.
need to throw it with no weight.
No weight.
You don't. He doesn't pay attention to me. The Lucky Sink is the Lucky Sink. This is the old packaging, you know, the new packaging, but I got a lot of them in the old packaging. The packages don't catch fish. The package only catch fishermen. But the fish don't have any money. By the way, these packages right here show you 2 different ways to rig this. I'm rigging Texas rig, but you can rig it wacky style also. I don't like to fish wacky style because you lose a lot of worms, and a lot of those fish will swallow those worms, so it's not good for the fish. And so I you know, in a tournament and they only hit the wacky style, I'll use it. But when I'm fun fishing, I rig it Texas style. Just how I rig it, this style right over here. And it's a 5-inch sinking worm is what it is. Oh, here we go. It's a 5-inch sinking worm. I'm fishing without a weight. And all I'm doing is just simply Texas rigging it, period. Now, you can put a toothpick in there. Well, let me show you something I'm doing a little differently because we're catching fish mostly in the grass. To rig Texas style, all you need to do is stick it right in this worm is tougher. I caught 4 or 5 bass on that one worm. 4 or 5 on one worm. This worm is a little tougher than most of the sinking worms you buy, so you're going to catch a lot more fish per worm, a lot more fish per package, and with a Lucky Strike you do something else. It's got a little indentation right there. Now you can hook the other end if you want, but I always hook this in here, which is a little bit bigger. You just want to go in about 1/4 inch, that's all. Don't go any further than that. Go in 1/4 inch, bring it up here on the hook, and now this way, I got it up here. I've got a little bit now. If I want to go in a little further, I can get this inside, but then this has got a tendency to twist your line. But if you hold it right here and you got a slip sinker on Texas rig, but now we're fishing at Texas rig but without a slip sinker. So if I want to get that line in there, I'm going to turn around and just pick another little spot. I'm going to go down a little bit further in the worm. And see, that went to about a 1/2 inch there, 3/4 inch maybe. And come around by doing it this way. Now I have my knot inside the worm. So, you know, in this grass, you're probably better off that way. The other way I showed you is the way you rig it just with a slip sinker, but without a weight, you want to do it that way. So that's the 2 things when you hook your hook in. It's very, very important. Then you come in here, I'm going to go over here, and I want to go through the middle of the worm, right in that bend. So I'm going to put my thumbnail there and scrunch it up a little bit. Now I'm going to go straight through, except for about the last 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to bend just a little bit and come up. Now here's what I'm going to do. I want this worm to be perfectly straight. I'm going to leave, since we're fishing relatively open water, not much brush, I'm leaving the hook exposed. So when the bass bites that and he smashes down on it, there's the hook going to hook right in his mouth, and you hook him, you don't lose very many. If I'm fishing a lot of brush, but now even with a lot of brush, if you're fishing without a weight, you're not going to hook it. I'm going to just put that up a little bit and skin hook that. That's called skin hooking. Now I've got a weedless hook in that worm, but now, and again, if he bites it and he smashes down on it, see, he's got to pull it out of that. So I'd rather fish it out if I can, because you miss very few fish with it out than having it skin hooked. If you're fishing a lot of cover, you better skin hook that thing. You're going to be retying quite a bit because you're going to lose a lot of worms. So, Roland?
Can I add something to that?
Yes.
Well, one thing that I've noticed that what I can do is, a lot of times you tear up the worm, like particularly this worm here has been torn up. You can always turn it around, turn it backwards, cut just a little teeny bit off, and rig it up from tail first. And actually, tail first works almost as good, if not as good, as front first.
It's basically the same.
So
yeah,
it's basically the same. You can actually save on worms. So
yep.
Don't go throwing your worms away when you've torn up one end.
With this type of worm, you can use hook on both ends of it.
Turn it around. A big crappie.
Big crappie.
A big crappie.
Did he hit right there by the boat?
He hit right by this tree.
I mean, right by the boat.
I don't want to pull him hard. I want to kind of think I could get him in.
Right by the boat.
Huh?
Yeah, I'll lift him in. You'll either lift him in or he'll fall off.
Look at the guy, it's the biggest crappie I've ever
Grab your
caught.
line. Don't use that little thin rod tip. You're going to break my rod.
That's a 2-pounder.
Yeah, it's a 2-pounder.
Huh?
Heck yeah,
That's
it's
a gigantic crappie. I took this little jig and just dropped it right by the tree. I just like
Look at the size of that dude. Look at that crappie.
Oh my God.
That's what we came to catch right there. And we haven't caught them, but they've got a little active. You know, the cold front might just have the crappie pretty much shut down.
GoPro, start recording.
And we got here right here late in the evening, and some of them are getting a little bit more active, perhaps. I don't know.
That thing is something else. That was just by that same little tree that we were just kind of piddling around with. That is a huge crappie.
That's 2 crappie in one spot. First day we've done it. Isn't that beautiful?
That's gigantic.
What a pretty fish.
That's gigantic.
What a pretty fish.
I'll let him go, son. That's what it's all about. And what I did, it was kind of cool. I just kind of flipped it. I was looking at that big tree back there, and I could do it on this tree. I just flipped it like this, just like I was flipping a jig for a bass.
Yeah.
And just let it down about 6 or 8 feet, and the line just stopped.
Do you feel a good tick on that? Do you feel the tick?
No, I didn't really feel the tick. The line just stopped.
Here's one. Here's one. That's another crappie, I believe. I think so, because I felt him bite. I don't know. We'll find out. It's another big crappie. Look at that big crappie. Another big one.
Crappie, all right.
Another big crappie.
Look at that size. Look at that thing. Looks like a flounder. I think it's a flounder.
A flounder. I lost her, but I floundered. Oh, he is hooked in the top of
gigantic. That's over 2 pounds. That is one big crappie, son.
Look at that, Roland. Look at that. Look how black he is. Isn't he beautiful? That's a big male, big giant male. Golly.
It's over 2 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a big crappie.
It is a crappie.
It's a big giant crappie. Look at this.
Well, there were several of them out there.
We saw that on the scope, and that was really kind of cool.
Yeah, there were.
Because we actually saw that on the scope.
Yeah.
And
I saw several out there, Roland.
Towards the bait, and sure enough, is a nice big crappie. Not as big as
what we caught,
the other ones.
But there was 4 or 5 of them.
Not as big as what we have caught. At least we saw it on the live scope, and it came right to the jig. That was cool. That was very cool.
That's the first little school of crappie that we've seen.
There's a school there. See how to get right up there.
I don't know where they are now.
Okay. Ooh, what happened?
What was that?
I don't know.
Is that on your bait?
No, that was something different.
Something struck something on top of the water. Bass. He swallowed that sucker too. I'm talking swallowed it. Come here, baby. Oh no, he's hooked right. Oh. Look at that fish. Look how broad he is. That fish is short and fat, but look at that belly. You think that baby's not going to have some youngins? The hook just fell out of it. Look at the belly on that fish. My gosh. Go have me some babies, baby. Have some babies. You ever have one of those days where you just can't get a bite. You throw the whole tackle box at them and you don't catch any fish. You throw spinnerbaits, crankbaits, worms, jigs, swim baits, umbrella rigs, Alabama rigs, Texas rigs, Oklahoma rigs, everything in the world, and you just can't catch any fish. Well, I have them just like everybody else. It doesn't matter who you are, you have days like that. May I suggest a little secret there that a lot of us use when it gets really, really tough. We all know that finesse baits is what most of the guys go to, little small baits, but this is one of the best finesse baits in the world, and it's simply a crappie jig. That's right, a crappie jig, that's all it is. This is a little ball head, Crappie Magic by Lucky Strike, a little ball head jig. It's got a good keeper on it, so it holds that plastic back there. It's got a small hook. It's got a really small hook. Don't let the small hook fool you. You can catch 4 and 5 and 6 pound bass on this. And sometimes you do, sometimes you do. Now my favorite trailer for this is what's called a Lucky Minnow. Lucky Strike, the world's luckiest tackle. This is a Lucky Minnow right here. And now what a Lucky Minnow, the secret of a Lucky Minnow is that little tiny, tiny twister type tail. The company that developed that was Mr. Twister. And you can see right here, you want to fish this with the tail down. That little tail on that just goes, you pull it through the water and it's unbelievable, unbelievable when you see it in the water. And you can turn it around, fish it up like that, but the proper way to fish it is with the tail down. And let me tell you, these little baits, these little swimming minnows on a little ball head crappie magic will salvage some of the days. You go out there and you fish 2 or 3, 4 hours, you've gone through just about every kind of bass bait that you want, get you a little crappie jig. Get you a little swimming minnow on there. Various colors, lots of different colors. Solid white's good, motor oil's good, all kinds, bubble gum color, all different kinds of colors. But I'm telling you, you'll salvage some days and turn them into a day to remember.
I don't know.
There's one.
You want?
Well, I felt that one hit it too. Maybe the bass are just hitting harder late in the evening.
That's
Oh, it's a big crappie.
That's a big, giant crappie. Hey, folks.
I
Hey, we got to look at this.
I
This is
felt
a big
that one
deal.
hit.
GoPro, start recording. This is a
I
giant
felt that
crappie.
one hit.
Huh?
I felt that
Look
one
at
hit.
that guy. Look at that. That's a crappie now. Huh? Is that ever a crappie?
Woo!
Woo!
This is what
son.
Roland and I come after. Look at that.
That
That's
is a
why.
big
That's why
one,
you can
son.
feel him hit. Look how deep that fish has got
Huh.
that. Big old black crappie. Big old male.
Hey, can I come up there and do a close with you? Because I want to talk about that. That is a fantastic fish.
Well,
tell
I'm
you
going to
what,
catch
folks.
another one while you're walking around the boat
well,
making it close.
You know,
Look
we've
at that
caught a
big
couple
fish.
of
Look at that
giants,
big fish.
and we've caught mainly bass, but look at the size of that thing. That's fantastic. I want to thank you, Jimmy, for a great day where we had caught a lot of bass earlier this morning. And,
And not many crappie.
Not many crappie, but giant crappie. I tell you what, folks, it's a lot of fun with these little spinner rods.
Can I
It's really,
tell
really
you,
good deal.
the 4 I caught the other day were all bigger than that.
Oh, my
Can I
gosh.
tell you?
Yeah, I was on the phone talking to him when he was catching these
That's right, he
2-pounders.
was.
Anyway, folks,
That's a big
hey,
old
if you
crappie
want to
right
see
there.
some really great fishing, come on down to southern Oklahoma, try some of these watershed lakes. Hey, Jimmy, hey, thanks for showing me a thing or two about these crappie.
I didn't
Great
teach
bass
you anything
fishing
about
too.
crappie, that's for sure. But we caught a lot of bass. Caught a lot
Hey,
of
folks,
bass.
we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.